volume on till she speaks. Soumya, phone ka volume.
Good afternoon, everyone. The Director of Alumni Affairs is back with another amazing session. Today, we have Bishvesh Sir, who is currently working as a DevSecOps engineer in Cisco. Bishvesh Sir completed his BTech in CS from SRM University in the year 2014. Soon after, he studied at Texas A&M University for his master's degree in Management Information Systems. Spectators can ask questions in the live chat when prompted by Sir. Without any further delay, let's start today's session. Over to you now, sir.
All right. Good afternoon to all my current students at SRM. So, it's a pretty good initiative by the Alumni Association at SRM University. So back during the time when I was there at SRM, there was no such session, no such actually an alumni meeting, or we didn't have strong connections with our alumni. So all our works were, we had to do all this on our own through LinkedIn and stuff, but it's a nice initiative. So kudos to the team. To give a little bit background about myself, so I graduated like the speaker said in 2014 after doing my computer science. I graduated in 2014. After that, I started working with Fidelity Investments in Chennai and Bangalore, like in the DevOps team. So my work was partly development, partly operations, automations on cloud and stuff. 3 years down the line, I decided that I wanted to advance further in my career. So I thought, okay, let's switch for masters. Had a couple of options, either MBA. I'll be covering all those why I choose this path. Had a couple of options, but then I decided to come over to the United States. Had a couple of options in my pursuit stream as well. So computer science or MIS or business analytics. Chose MIS. Started like 2-year journey at Texas A&M University. Did a summer internship at FedEx Services as a cloud operations engineer, and right now I just graduated in May of 2019, and currently working at Cisco as DevSecOps engineer, so development, security, and operations. So that was a brief stint about me. So without any further delay, I'll start about the topics that I wanted to cover in this session. And I wish that when I was during my undergrad, some of our alumni had covered it. So there are 5 topics that I'll be covering today. So the first one would be myths of IT, the information technology field. Second would be how to earn money in information technology field. I'm pretty sure everyone wants to earn money, right? Third one would be GRE versus GMAT versus CAT. Which one should you decide? Which one should you take? Fourth would be resume building. And the last option would be using LinkedIn for success. So LinkedIn is a very, very powerful tool. How you can connect with your alumni, how you can actually ask for help. And there are a lot of things there are so many things on LinkedIn that most of the people are not aware about. So I'll be covering all those topics in detail. Is it right? So can I is there an option of if we are all set to go, then is there any option where I can see if you can type yes or something so I can actually proceed further? And if you have any questions at this point in time, please let me know. If not, we can start further. Is there a way I can see that? All right. I think in that case, we are good. So the first common myth in IT, which says there is no scope in IT, which is very, very wrong. So IT is such a big field that there is always scope. It is true that layoffs do happen, but you won't find any other field in engineering that has more scope than IT. The reason why I say this is, if you go like starting from early 2000s until now, so from 2000 till 2019, if you see the number of jobs that IT sector has created is way more than the jobs that were created in any other sector. And even right now, I mean, India is like it's economic slowdown in India, but IT jobs are still coming up. They're still booming. So whoever says that the information technology or IT has no scope, and give you an example of TCS, Infosys, Accenture, that it's like a boring 9 to 5 job or 8 to 5 job, this is not true. If your passion is IT, if you love solving problems, it is one of the best things that you can actually do. And right after your graduation, so as soon as you graduate from SRM, 20 like another 3 to 4 years, you can actually start solving problems. So which is a very wrong statement that there's no scope in IT. Second big myth is IT is all about coding and development. So can I, like, if there's any poll or something, or if you can just put it on the comments, how many of you guys, like, if you love coding, just enter yes in the comments. If you don't love coding, just enter no. Just be pretty fast, like in a minute. So I just wanted to see how many of you love coding and how many of you don't. So if you can just enter in the comment section. Awesome. I see a lot of people saying yes. So it's pretty good. I mean, back in our time, in 2014, when I was graduating, not many of our batchmates used to love coding. So they're like, we wanted to go for a non-tech jobs and like a business analyst or an analyst jobs or stuff like that. And if we don't love coding, we don't have any scope in IT, which is very wrong. This is very wrong. I mean, IT, information technology, or computer science has so many options. I mean, definitely you have software development, you have cloud operations, you have information security, you have database analyst. So let me give you an overview how IT works. So there's a person who actually writes the code. He's the one who writes the proper Java code, and then it is actually split into different terms. So there's a front end development, there's a back end development, there's web services development. So within development, you have so many branches. Then you have the security guys. So we have information security, we have business information security, we have corporate information security. So there's a big huge plethora of like domains within security. Then you have operations. So you have database operations, you have middleware operations, you have infosec operations, a lot of different categories in operations itself. And then you have deployment, so bare metals, cloud. So you have a lot of things. So it's not just about coding. So in case you don't love coding, it's not like there's an end of word for you in IT. Yes, there will be some initial struggle, but then if you don't know coding, it's not the end of the world. You have tons and tons and tons of opportunities within IT in which you can succeed. You can actually make a big name of yours. You can earn big bucks. So let this fear not stop you. The third myth of the ID. First of all, let me see how many of you are planning for an MBA right after your graduation. So if you can just say yes or no on the comment section. Yeah, on the comment section, you can say yes if you're planning for an MBA. You can say no if you're not. All right. Cool. So I got like most. It's a mixed response. Some are saying yes, some are saying no. So there's a general conception. So I'm not sure about the people, the population who is attending this seminar. I'm sure it's like mostly computer science students. So there's a big back in our time, it was like let's do an MBA after the BTech, so that if we are not interested in tech, it's the best thing. I mean, if I'm not interested in tech 4 years down the line, I don't want to do the same job again. Like if I'm not interested, let's do an MBA. Yes, good option. If you realized it like after 4 years, bad option. I mean, if you realize it within the first year or second year of your career, I would say start taking subjects that are more focused towards MBA, and make sure that you give your CAT or GMAT attempt as soon as you graduate. So you are not in the IT field for a year or something, because there is a very common misconception that happens that, hey, even if I'm not interested in IT, let me take a year or 2 or 3 years of work experience and then do an MBA. Well, if you're not interested in IT, the very first thing that might happen to you is you will get a support job or an operations, a core like tech support sort of job in IT. So if you do that for a year or two and then do an MBA, so when you do an MBA, like so you'll be doing either with finance or HR or marketing, and then when you go for placements, your campus placements or apply outside like off-campus placements, those 2 years that are after you graduate and between the time when you start your MBA, that will be a ding to your resume, because they don't justify why you did an MBA. It was like, just because I was not interested in tech, I did my MBA. So how recruiters see is because back in A&M, I was a member of the recruitment cell as well, not recruiting, but I used to reach out to different companies here in the United States. And that was the common misconception, because a lot of students in my batch had work experience in IT. Just because they don't want to do the same IT role, they came over to the US for their masters and MIS, took management subjects, and they face a lot of issues when they're giving interviews and stuff. So just to the summary is that, like, the crux is, if you're not interested in the technical field or something, the best thing you can do is realize that as early as possible in your first year, second year, third year, if not fourth year, and immediately start prepping up yourself for CAT, GMAT, or whatever MBA colleges you want to go to. Crack the exam and start your MBA right away as soon as you graduate, so that you don't have a work experience in IT that can actually ding your like future job prospects that come along with your MBA degree. All right, so these were the common myths and conceptions. So before I proceed with the second section, please shoot out your questions if you have any on the comment section. I'll be more than happy to address them, because next section is related completely with IT. So shoot out your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I'll give it a minute. In case no questions, then I'll proceed like after a minute or something. No questions? All right. Okay, so the next section is money in the information technology field. Oh, okay. So I think there are a few questions, so I'm just waiting on. Okay, so there's a question that how can we prepare for MBA from the first or second year itself? Well, what I would say is preparing for MBA, if you're thinking like if you are doing your CAT, like verbal analysis or the quants and stuff, I would leave all that stuff up till the last year or the third year. The first and second year of your curriculum, you should be focused on the aspects of MBA. Say, for example, reading different journals, various business journals, so that you are aware of what exactly MBA is about. It's not about preparing for an MBA and clearing the examination. remember, you don't have an interest in the IT field, and MBA is not a scapegoat that you can actually think, okay, if I'm not interested in IT, MBA would be the second best thing that I can do because everyone is doing that. Not like that. So for the first and second year, just try to read through different business journals about different sectors. So if you're interested in finance, try to subscribe to magazines, subscribe to e-journals that are focused towards finance. Understand what exactly is the life after MBA. And then if you feel like, yes, this is something that you want to do, from third year or fourth year itself, start like focusing on your, then start focusing on clearing your examinations. But if you start on your MBA, preparing for your MBA, starting from the first year itself, by the time you come to your fourth year, you'll be so saturated that you will not even feel like the urge of studying. So the first 2 years, if you're in the first year, the first and second year is more about exploring different domains you want to be in. Once you narrow down your domain that yes, you want to be in MBA, you want to do something like that, then you can proceed with preparing your examinations like from the third year or fourth year. I hope that answers your question. Well, yeah, this is a very big myth that IT experience is needed even for MBA as in getting in for a business college. People say you need a 2 year IT experience, 3 year IT experience. In US, definitely true. If you want to do in, if you want to be, if you want to come to the United States as a like write a GMAT examination and then come, it's best that you have experience, but that experience must be related. So I'm actually trying to help you out in what happens after you graduate. So MBA doesn't guarantee you a job. Similarly, any degree doesn't guarantee you a job. It's the skills and the work experience that you bring out, that you have actually acquired or earned through all those years. So to get into a business college, yes, I mean, if it's not that competitive enough, any 2 year experience, 3 year experience will get you in. But what after you graduate? And in India, I'm pretty sure, like when my friends who went into their business colleges and stuff, the work experience that they had in their IT, it was not at all related when they started their business career. So everyone, almost everyone got an entry level job. So just imagine you're spending 15, 20 lakhs in an MBA, and when you start your job, you get an entry level job after MBA, which is like 6 lakhs, 10 lakhs max. So it's not justified. So even a fresher, even a young like fresher who just graduated will be getting the same job. So why do you want to like? It doesn't feel nice that you spend 2 years, 3 years in IT, went into a business college, and then getting the same salary that a fresher who just graduated from his undergrad join an MBA and getting it. So it's because companies say, for example, I am a marketing company professional HR and I recruit you. When I see your resume, I should see that you have relevant experience back when you like after before your MBA. If not, I'll be treating you as a fresher because the MBA program just gives you a degree. Your work experience should be related to as to what I am hiring, which is a very, very bitter truth that people don't tell about a relevant. So relevant work experience is something that you need, not just work experience. I hope that answers. Okay, a very good question. Scope of American business schools over Indian ones. Yes. American business schools are definitely ranked above Indian business schools. Not all of them. So if you get into top three IIMs, IIM ABC, I mean you are in the cream. If not, there are very few colleges after that. So why I say this is two things. Say for example, you get into an MBA college in India, you write an examination, you went through that, cleared it. So in the first 2 years, you'll be spending anywhere between 15 lakhs to 20 lakh rupees, if I'm not wrong. And that's those were the stats back in my time, and pretty much now the same. They might have increased only. After graduating, the placement figures that you see on the website that this student has earned 60 lakhs or for whatever reason 40 lakhs, it's not true for everyone. Uh, Most of the students, if you see it's a bell curve sort of thing, and most of the students lie in the average figures of 6 lakhs to 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs, stuff like that. If you are spending 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs on your education, MBA, plus your living expense and everything, and the return of investment is 10 lakhs or 12 lakhs, for example, that's your total CTC. I mean, after you graduate, and your take home would be less than your total CTC by taxation laws and stuff. You are getting less than what you have invested in 1 year, right? So if you've invested 20 lakhs and your return of investment on 1 year is just 12 lakhs, whereas if you just switch gears and move to an American business school, it's true that you'll be investing a lot more. Say for example, you'll be investing like 40 lakhs. So for my education, I took a loan of 30 lakhs, but I used just 50% of it. So the good thing about US is you get a lot of scholarships, you get a lot of assistantships and stuff. So for example, you invest say 30 lakhs, say you don't get any scholarships, you don't get anything, you spend 30 lakhs on your education in US, 40 lakhs say for example. But the starting salaries that you get, I'm just taking the average salaries. So if you see the average salaries, you'll be starting off anywhere from, after an MBA, you'll be starting anywhere from 90,000 plus. I'm giving you very real figures. I'm not inflating them with, in US salaries vary from region to region. So I'm giving you a standardized figure. So you'll start from 90,000 plus. And this is a very nominal salary for an MBA. You will definitely earn like 120, 130, 140 like that. So if you see the return on investments, so you have invested $40,000, like say for example, say $60,000, or if I convert into rupees, so if you invested 40 lakhs and you're getting a return of investment of $100,000, which is around 70 lakhs, and that way your return of investment is much more than what you have invested. So American business colleges are definitely a plus one. They get an upvote for being a better return on investment. Second thing is the curriculum that they teach, because I was in a business school, my degree was management information systems. So I had one management subjects or two management subjects each semester and one technical subject. So the subjects that we cover here in the United States are directly related to what you'll be doing in the work field. So they're very practical. They are very like this. The coursework would be very intuitive, and you will know what exactly, like in your interviews, you can actually speak it up and speak it up for yourself. So it is more practical oriented in the United States compared to what it's in India. And again, I'm not talking about the top business schools. So I'm ABCs and XLRI and stuff. I'm not so leaving those apart. I'm just talking about the tier 2 MBA colleges in India. So if you get into tier 1, that's the best. If not, tier 2 in India is not as great as the MBA college in the United States. Hope that answers your question. Next question. Okay. Should I focus on IIMS, CAT, or GRE, which will be more productive for individual? Good question, Mrityunjay. So GRE is mostly for MS and MIS. There are some business schools that have started accepting GREs for MBAs. So there's a GRE calculator that actually calculates your GRE score with GMAT score, and you can actually see where you fall into. So focusing on IIMS and CAT or GRE depends on what you want to do. If you want to do pure MBA, if you want to be in India, and if you can crack IIMS, or if you can crack CAT with a good percentile, if you are into management, if you have decided that yes, I want to be in management, core management, go for it. Go for IIMS or CAT. If you are into technical fields, say for example, if you want to be if you want to continue in computer science, if you want to just switch to techno management like I did for management information systems, because that is not there in India. So if you want to be in a field that has IT management or techno management or something with cloud and security, I would say go with GRE, right? Get a good score, get into a good college. You'll have a more better, like you'll have more plethora of subjects that you can actually choose here. Go through them and actually apply for jobs. Like plan your degree accordingly and apply to jobs. So it's completely your wish. So if you want to be in a core management back in India, go for IIMS or CAT. If you want to be in a technical or techno management field, go with GRE. Next question. All right, so I'll continue further. So, how to make money in IT? Are most of the are the audience here related with the computer science field? Because I'm talking all about IT, because IT and computer science, I have I don't have much knowledge about the mechanical or civil engineering or other fields. So I hope the audience is mostly with the same field or in which they're actually interested to go in. So, how to make money in IT? People say that, I mean, there are a lot of different web series, and like even I used to see that people have actually demonized IT. They say that IT is all about going to TCS, Infosys, Accenture, or any other companies where you slog like a labor starting from 9 a.m. in the morning till 5 in the evening, no productivity whatsoever. Well, that's not true. I mean, if you are interested, it was your choice to be there, and there's nothing to demonize about it. I mean, if just imagine if TCS, Accenture, Wipro, Infosys, if they were so bad, then they won't be running. They are not actually pulling you out from college and putting yourself in their companies. It's you who have decided to be in this IT field after 4 years of your graduation and then move to those companies. Even though I haven't worked in these IT companies like after my graduation, but I say this to everyone, like those companies are not bad. They're not killing your dream. You choose to be in those companies after you graduate. So it's your choice that you went there. They didn't actually pick you up from your home or from your hostel dorm and just forced you to be with them. So we have to understand this. I've seen a lot of people frustrated that this is not happening, that is not happening, my company sucks. I mean, it was your choice to be there. So that is the very first thing that you have to remember. Second thing is like how to make money. So the first way to make money in IT is skill up yourself. So I'm pretty sure you must have come across platforms like Udemy, Lynda, Pluralsight, and I think Cloud Guru. So there are a lot of online platforms that you have currently. And with IT, what happens is things change rapidly. So what is there today will not be there tomorrow. So leave the programming languages apart because Java was there even before I was born. It was there when I was in SRM and it's still there. But if you want to focus on technologies like configuration management tools or cloud or into security, things change like every 3 months, every 6 months, you'll see new things coming up, old things being pushed out. Having said that, it's not like the old things become obsolete right away. They are still there in the market. It's just that the mainstream companies won't use it. Companies still use them. So your task is to upskill yourself. And how do you do that? So how do you know that which skill is hot in market? The best thing to do is go to naukri.com, monster.com and read through job descriptions. Over there, you'll see, okay, this is the skill that is most of the companies are asking. Make a list of what skills do you like, what skills companies are asking, and then go to Udemy, Lynda, Pluralsight, and acquire those skills. So this is the first best thing that you can do to upskill yourself. Second is do lead code. If you are interested in software development, lead code, HackerRank is your best friend. The good thing about companies, so SRM gives you campus placements. Yes, but if you are not satisfied with that, the best thing you can do is start lead coding. So lead code, I'm not sure if you have heard of it. I'll just type in the chat. So these two websites, lead code and HackerRank, you can practice algorithms, data structure questions, so that when you are applying for companies, for computer science and IT students, usually the first 2 rounds are coding rounds. And if you're able to clear them, you can very easily get like jobs right after your graduation that are like 10 lakhs, 12 lakhs right after you graduate. So if you are into software development, I would say right from today, start doing lead code and hackathon. Just try to do as many problems you can, go through them over and over and over again. The first best thing. Second thing is start looking beyond your curriculum. So back in my time, our curriculum was pretty old and obsolete. I'm not sure how is the case right now. I haven't seen the syllabus, but to earn money in IT, to be on top of that, start looking beyond your curriculum. Your curriculum would be like, we have subjects like operating systems. Let me remember which all I had: compiler design and operating systems and microprocessors and microcontrollers. We had subjects like that, which are not at all related to what you will be acquiring in your jobs. So just try to make sure that whatever skills you see on, because even if you get A grade in microprocessor, you get A plus in operating systems that is being taught in the curriculum right now, those skills are pretty much obsolete. Don't companies won't know, like they won't look for you if you know Windows OS and some memory lock and all those functions are theoretical. I mean, they have advanced so much that whatever the books that you are reading, it's pretty much obsolete. So you can leave those books to get marks and get a grade, but you'll have to actually push yourselves up to upskill yourself. And the best way to do is Udemy, Linda, Plura site. So like I said, go through different job postings that you see on Monster, Naukri, and there are a lot of job postings. LinkedIn is the best way actually. So look for jobs over there. Look for the skills that companies are asking, and if they interest you, start taking courses, online courses on Udemy and all those platforms. The courses over there are charged, but it's not that much. It's like, I think, $10. So it's like 700 rupees in Indian currency, and which is a very nominal money when you compare with the fees that you're giving to SRM. Or if you go out to Skywalk or Express Avenue or Phoenix, you spend more than 700 rupees in a day, right, to eat and to shop. And those courses are for lifetime. So start investing in your learning. 700 rupees, even if you take two courses a month, 1400, 1500 bucks is nothing when you compare it with the amount of skill set and knowledge that you're acquiring. So don't think about money at this point in time, especially if you go out and shop and you're just worried about those 1500 bucks that you're saving while not taking courses. Third thing is mostly that I give advice to all the undergrads back in India too, as well as in United States when I had similar sessions. If you're an undergrad and if you want an easy peasy way to get a job, I would say don't hate coding. I mean, I understand why people hate coding. It's because we are not taught coding in a way it should be. We are not taught software development in a way it should be. Nothing against, no grudges. We have those, I mean, in my time, we used to have, say, subjects like data structure algorithms or like similar such subjects, programming in C, and there was no such initiative or push from the faculty that this is how coding should be read and understand. And I completely understand it. I understand that how teachers are teaching, and that actually kills your interest in software development. And that's why you say that you are not interested in coding. But just keep this in mind. Because of someone else, a third person, not able to teach you the way it should be, shouldn't stop you from exploring that field called software development. I understand that you might not like how the faculty is teaching, or they might not even teach in class. That shouldn't stop you from saying that I hate software development, I hate coding. I would say you have 4 years. So the best thing about BTech is you have 4 years. So to see what you're interested in, what you're not interested in. I would say give it a time, give it a shot, give it 2-3 months to understand, like right from the basics. So writing a code with proper syntaxes, start exploring the data structures, algorithms, start creating your interest in software development. The reason why I'm saying this is, if you see this salary statistics across the complete IT industry, software development professionals earn the most right out of college. Uh, in United States, I would say software developers earn right out of the college 120 to 130 grands, 120 to $130,000, which is a huge money, and that's how it is in India too. If you're a very good software developers right out of college, you can get into companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Facebook. So don't say that because hey, no one taught me coding, my professor just sucks or whatever it is. Just don't deter that you. Just that don't deter, not let that factor or influence deter you from venturing into coding or software development. After 2 3 months, if you feel like okay, this is not what you're interested in, definitely go ahead and switch your stream or switch your interest to some other field. But 4 years, you have solid 4 years or 3 years, whichever you have left in your hand. So just don't say that, hey, I don't love coding and I cannot do that or stuff like that. That should not be an excuse. So I would say don't hate coding. So this ends the section two, like how do you earn money in IT? Questions and answers. Before I proceed with the third section, I'm pretty sure there should be a lot of question answer in this. So the moderators, if you can start posting the questions on the screen, and audience, if you can start typing in the questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. Okay, how to approach the company, that I'll cover up in the last section. I'll just take down your name and I'll actually cover that in the last section. So I have a specific dedicated section for this. So next question. No more questions with this? I thought this would be the section in which, so whenever it comes to money, I'll be the, every time I do these seminars, most of the questions would be in this section, like how can I make more money? So I thought this section would have a lot of questions. Okay, so I'll proceed with the third question, the third section actually, so which is GRE. Okay, I think there was one question that's posted. Can you please tell about the extra skills that one should have other than coding? A very good question. And I'm sorry that I missed it while giving the session. So coding is something that, yes, you need it. Other skills that are required, the first thing is soft skills. So how you speak, how you talk, how you present yourself. So there'll be a lot of people in the industry who are excellent software developers, but they are not able to present themselves. They are not able to tell what they did. And that actually is something which is very, very, very common in India, that people are not able to speak up to their accomplishments. So your soft skills, your presentation skills, your communication skills, that is very, very, very essential. Like at this point in time, when everything is so competitive, you must have it. Second thing which you should have is, in addition to the coding skills or software development skills, start learning about security or operations or data analysis or machine learning. So these things are hot in market. How I know these things? because I see in the job description, so these skills are pretty much required. Security, cloud, operations. So apart from coding, like start venturing into these skills. And the way you can do it, like I already covered, go into the job sites, go into the job postings based on the job titles you are interested in. Say, for example, you're just interested in software development. So no software development company will say just one line Java or C++. They'll have a bunch of other things, like you must be able to create and develop REST APIs. You must be able to deploy these on cloud. A solid proficiency in cloud computing like AWS or Azure is required. So you have a huge section of skill set that will actually come. So that's the place from where you will be getting this information, like what all other skill set that you need to actually rise and shine in this role. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so the next question is, it's great to go with HackerRank and HackerEarth, but my question is how a beginner who has no computer background can go with it in initial phase. Well, if you are in IT field, you already have a background of it, right? If you have taken computer science, you must have thought something and taken a computer science course, right? Well, the second thing is the example. So HackerRank has a 30-day online boot camp that you can actually proceed at your own pace. I'll just type in the chat. So HackerRank has this. So for the first 30 days, they'll cover like one lecture each day. It'll be like 20 minutes or 25 minutes lecture. And trust me, they will teach you software development in a much better way than you can actually learn it from your professors. I know from what's your mindset, and that was the same with me. So you can actually learn through this in a much better way than you can actually learn through the professors. Once you do that, the challenges and everything on HackerRank and LeetCode are based on the level. So beginner, we have intermediate, we have advanced, and we have expert. So start with the beginner level. They'll be very easy questions. Like the first question will be just print hello world. So those will be pretty easy questions. And then as you proceed further, the challenges will become more and more and more advanced. So that's how you proceed. Uh, Another thing which you can do is Udemy has a lot of courses on software development for beginners in Python and Java. So those are pretty intensive. They are like 24, 30-hour courses. And if you just dedicate or devote 1 hour each day of your time in those, within 30 days, you will be in a level that you can actually start coding on HackerRank and LeetCode. You will understand the data structures and algorithms. There is another, if you just want to focus on DS and algos, there are courses on Udemy which will teach you just DS and algos for Python or Java or C++. You can actually venture out over there as well. Why I say LeetCode is, LeetCode has a separate section which has company database, and you can actually sort the questions. I mean, that is a paid thing. So maybe whenever like you guys decide 10 students or 20 students, you all can pool money. Say, I think it's not that costly. It'll cost like $50 to each one of you if you are 20 students, and you can get a paid subscription of questions sorted by companies. So what questions Amazon asks, so what questions Facebook asks in India. So let me type that on chat again. So you can actually go through this, but I would say, first of all, start building your basics. So like I said, go through the 30-day tutorial that is on HackerRank. They teach that in Java. take a course in Udemy. It's like 700 rupees. Just take that course. That's how you actually start building up your coding skills. Just don't think that college is not teaching me anything or whatsoever. Leave that thing to college. I mean, I'm sure everyone has their own frustrations, and you'll be like, "How our college doesn't teach anything and stuff." Just leave it. I mean, let not a third person or a third entity guide you like how you should be doing it. So just leave it that to college. Your job is to just go to college, read the curriculum what they give, and get a grade. But on your personal front, you'll have to put in your extra efforts to learn those skills. And this is the right time actually. You have 4 years in your hand, so that's the best time you can actually invest in yourself. Okay, other question before I proceed with the third section. Best resources, like I said, the best resources to learn DS and Algo are Udemy. I would say go with Udemy because the courses are pretty cheap there. So it's like $10, like 700 rupees. You can get a course, a good course, and that is for your lifetime. So that's the best thing. Other questions? I think we are running out of time. So if there's no, okay. Approaching the company, like I said, I'll be going on at the last section of my course. So let's move to the next question. If not, I'll proceed with the third section. All right. So the third section is, I think I already covered it in the beginning slides, the GRE versus GMAT versus CAT. So like I said, if you're interested in masters in computer science or IT in those places, yes, you must go for MS because MTech in India is nowhere close to MS in US if you're doing a computer science. So this statement is 100% true. MS and CS. Okay, I think we are running out of time, so I'll just quickly tell you. So MS and CS in US, it's like it's way ahead of what MS MTech in India is. And if you're interested in MBA, then go with GMAT or CAT. Again, if you have to think about return on investment and the curriculum that we guys are doing, the colleges are offering. All right, so I have two more sections, but I think there is paucity of time. We don't have that much time. So I'll leave those sections maybe for in the future seminars if I have it. There was a question asked by Mrityunjay. It was like, how do we approach the company? So let me see if we have time. So this was something that I wanted to cover, how to best utilize the LinkedIn. So let me ask the host if we have time. Okay, so I'll start sharing my screen. And all right, so is my screen visible? Can host confirm my screen is visible? All right. So the best way to approach companies at this point in time is through LinkedIn. And how do you do that? So LinkedIn has a very cool feature. I mean, like you have the search bar, and this has actually helped me a lot. So when I was in United States, I connected with a lot of like students from SRM University, from my even my school. I connected with a lot of people. So how do you do that is Just type in SRM University here, right? Then just go with thinking people. And now start putting on the filters. So say, for example, I just want second degree connections in United States. I can add a company. Say, for example, back there, when I was searching for jobs, I was looking for a company called Visa. Previous company, if you have any of these filters. So say, for example, you worked in TCS or Cognizant anyway for 1 or 2 years, you can actually put that filter as well. You can select an industry which you are interested, profile language, add a school. I usually add a couple of more schools in that case, and I just do apply. Now, the very first search which I see was one of our senior whom I never know about, and I'll actually send him an invite now. So he is in Austin, Texas, which is like just 4 hour drive from where I am. So how do you approach him? So the first way to do is build up your network. You cannot ask job right away with someone, hey, can you give me a job? No, that's not how it works. So the very first thing you do is add a note. Do not send random invitations. Just like some people have a very bad habit of doing connect and send now. Don't do that. Just add a note and just say, I'll just type a very small message. Hello, Harsha. I see that we attended SRM University together, and looks like you were my senior there. I would love to take this opportunity and connect with you. Short and sweet. Just send the invitation. So now what happens is you are connected with that person. If that person accepts the invite, you are into his connection list, and then you proceed with the conversation. So how should a conversation go? Conversation shouldn't be like, hey, Harsha, I see that there is a job in your company, and why don't you refer me there? I mean, this guy doesn't know me. I mean, he might not have even seen me before. So he just knows that I'm from his university, SRM University, and then that's why he will accept my connection request. So just try to put on the table what you have, what skills do you have in you. Say, for example, this guy, Harsha, he is a Hadoop administrator. He has worked as a technical consultant, and he knows about operating systems and stuff like that. So do your homework. Just read his profile. Do your homework about what he has worked on. Research about those areas and start your conversation. Say that, hey, I see that you have worked on F5 load balancers, which is very interesting. I went through a couple of videos on YouTube and Udemy and learned about this. I'm new to this industry, and I wanted to know more about how this works in the real industrial scenario. And that's how you initiate your conversation with someone. Once you do that and you start talking like for a week or something, or say just 2-3 times, like in the entire your conversation history, after that just ask for him, hey, I think my skill set aligns with this job description at your company. I'm pretty much interested in that. Would you mind referring me to this? He would be more than happy to actually refer you, because after those conversations, right, he must, like, there's a bond that has actually built up between you and him. So that's the first way to like look for your alumni. So alumni network is pretty strong, and you should actually tap that. Second thing how you can do is, say for example, say I am interested in DevOps. Let's just do this, data analyst, right? And just type SRM University. So now you see all these students, all the people who are from SRM University, who are data analysts right now, right? And then you can again obviously put these filters in, say for example, just India, and just put SRM University, just doing these two filters. So these are the people who are in the United States who graduated from SRM University in like previous years and who are currently data analysts. Again, the same thing. If you're interested in this title, just send him a connection request. Tell him that this is what you're interested in. Tell him that you have done your homework, you have seen his profile and he has done all this works and it interests him, and try to initiate a conversation. Once you have a couple of conversations with him or her, then ask for a referral or an advice. He'll be more than happy to, because you are from the same school which he graduated from, and he'll be more than happy to actually help you out. Right. Yep. So this concludes our section. So it's open for Q&As right now. Any new questions? Any new questions that you guys are looking for? Any specifics? I'll post my LinkedIn profile in the chat. You can actually add me there. Thanks, Nakul. Appreciate it. So in case if there's a future webinar about resume building, so I was to cover that section today about how to build your resume so that you can get, so ideally what happens is you apply to 100 jobs or 200 jobs and you get calls from 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them. So there is a special skill about resume building, how you can actually get calls and how you can get your resume noticed and stuff. I can actually cover that in some other webinar. But any questions from whatever I covered today, I'll be more than happy to answer it. Or you can connect me over LinkedIn. All right, if there are no more questions, then I'll probably go to sleep. It's 3 a.m. right now here, almost 3. So if there are no more questions, then yeah, good to go. Okay, so there's a question by Gautam. He said, I figured out there are very less resources to learn in the field of cybersecurity and how to face such situation. It's not true, Gautam. So you have Cybersecurity is a field in which you have maximum resources. Let me see if I have a link here. Just give me a second. Uh, all right, let's do this, Gautam. You have my LinkedIn URL. Just connect with me. I have those in the resources in my personal computer, so I'll forward those to you. So cybersecurity is a very broad field. Everything gets constantly updated. We should refer a lot of documentation. Yes, this is true for cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is an evolving field, and every day there are new things that happen. But cybersecurity has two parts. So because I'm a SecOps engineer, so cybersecurity is a part of my job role too. So there is a technical part of into cybersecurity in which you actually do pen testing, and then there is a managed, like a policy making part, in which what you do is you assess different threats and vulnerabilities, scan your complete code base or your infrastructure, publish those vulnerabilities. So there are two aspects in cybersecurity, and it depends on you on which side do you want to go. And there are lots and lots of documentation, lots of resources. So I mean, just if you just go on Udemy, I think I gave the resources and just type pen testing, you'll have hundreds of course over there, and it's just like, again I said, 700 rupees, like just $10. And you can actually take those courses. They'll give you an in-depth idea of how to do a pen testing. You'll actually do it on a local server. I actually did that course. There are a lot of things actually on cybersecurity that you can explore if you want to go with the technical side. On the management side, on the policy making side, yes, you will have to read a lot. Cybersecurity is a field in which you have to read, like, you have to subscribe to different journals. You have to see what exactly, like, what all are different things, what all are vulnerability IDs. There is a CVE database that you have to explore every now and then based on the services that you are interested in. You must know the architecture of the system. So depending on which field that you are actually interested in cybersecurity, there is cybersecurity software development too. There is a safe agile. So there are a lot of things in cybersecurity. So you'll have to decide which field you want to go, and then you can actually start putting up on your resources or putting up your work on what you want to do. And the moderator will actually give put my LinkedIn URL, so you can anytime connect with me, and I'll be more than happy to assist you with cybersecurity. Like, it's one of the core things that I do. So next question, if you have. Okay, all right. So there are no more questions. In that case, well, everyone have a safe weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Have fun.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That was a really interesting session. Wow. That was a really interesting session. Thank you for not only answering the questions but also relating them to the real world. Thank you, viewers, for being patient and watching the whole session. Please do post your feedback in the comments. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.
तू कुछ बोल रहा हाँ बोल रहा है तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ। बाबा बोल रहा हूँ